Rick asks, what about that free PowerPoint template you mentioned on Facebook? I'll go to my Facebook page real quick. One of the new sets of PowerPoint templates coming out are from one of my favorite guys, Bayu over at Videowide. And these guys do a pretty good job. This particular collection is called Sociowide. Kind of the interesting thing about these is that they are templates in PowerPoint that are sized. The size of the slides and stuff are geared for very specific social media uses. So kind of handy. You can create things like Facebook cover videos. And I'll show you that in a second. Instagram and stuff like that. So those are kind of handy. I'll put a link to that in the chat box. So you can check those out. But I got a freebie for you. One of our guys, Smokin' Scott Sills, actually created his own Facebook cover video using one of the templates, and he posted it on my timeline here. I think this is live. Let's go to his page real quick. So here's an example of a Facebook cover video. This is Scott's page. So that's a pretty cool template. And what I did was I, of course, talked him into giving us a freebie. When you download this zip file, just go ahead and extract it, and this is basically what we're going to get. There is a text file with the fonts that you'll need for the template. There is the PowerPoint template, and then also there's a preview. So you can watch this little pre-done sample movie, and then that's just a static image. So basically, just open up the template, and let's just kind of play with this and walk through it, see what happens. The first time you open it, there will be a little enable editing button here. Just click that and we're basically ready to get started. The first thing I always do with templates like this is I go to File, Save As, navigate to a location on your computer and rename it. You don't want to screw up your master, right? So go ahead and Save As, and let's get started on this guy. So yeah, it's a fine looking template, isn't it? What a great looking slideshow we got going on here. It's all black and stuff. So the first step into modifying this kind of thing is to open up what's called the selection pane. And folks have heard me talk about this all the time. You can go to Home and then over to Select, open up Selection pane right here, or you can click on pretty much anything on a slide, go to Format, and open up the selection pane here. My favorite way, once I've found it, is to right-click and add this to your quick access toolbar, which I have already done. This is a handy time-saving tip instead of stabbing all over the place like I just did. So I have mine up here on the quick access toolbar by just using that little trick. And you can add anything you want to your toolbar here. You just right click on it and boom, there you go. Okay, so I've already done that. So the first step I'm going to do is open up the selection pane. The other thing I'm going to do is, these come with little audio files embedded. I'm going to click on the speaker icon here and I'm going to mute this. Right, so I'll deal with this in a little bit, but embedding music in PowerPoint files is kind of tough. So I'm going to basically add mine in Camtasia. But here's kind of the scoop now. We have, what do we have? We have 10 slides. So what you're going to want are 10 widescreen format images, ideally, that are high quality. And we're basically going to make the slideshow. Right, so first step is to hide all, and then I'm going to find the picture that goes in our picture slideshow, okay, and turn that guy back on. So it's the only thing that's on the screen. So now instead of a black box covering everything up, this is how you get to the stuff that you need to modify. So I'm just going to turn that which I want to modify on. Then I'll click on it on the slide here and then right click and change picture. Start off with, I'm going to change it from file, and then I'll show you a little trick. These are images that are on my hard drive here. I have some nice widescreen images here. So let's see, these are from pictures of Maggie the Wonder Dog and stuff around my properties. This particular slide deck is called Animal Documentary. Of course, you don't have to make an animal documentary. You would just, put any kinds of images in here you want, but I got some. So here's a little birdie, and then I'm going to go ahead and show all, and then we'll preview it by clicking the little star here. Interesting effect. To modify the text on these, most of the time I will then go ahead and hide all again, and again pick the stuff that I want to modify. These text boxes. Go ahead and go in, modify the text. You can change colors and anything else you can do with text. It's no big deal. And sometimes if text is kind of on top of each other, it might be kind of difficult to get to. So here's where your selection pane comes in handy again. Turn off the boxes that might be in your way and do them one at a time. Change your text. Turn it off, turn the next one on. And kind of position it or do the other stuff that you want to do. Change the text. Right? So you get the idea. So now I can show all and preview it. Nice, I like it. Let's go to the second slide. Again with the selection pane open, hide all, turn the picture back on, and this time I think what I'll do is let's right click on it and let's say change picture, but let's go from online sources. And here you can find all kinds of images that are in Creative Commons, and I'll show you a cool little thing about that. Usually with Creative Commons we need to give attribution. So here I got a whole bunch of animals for my animal documentary. So I'm just going to pick one. Let's pick this foxy looking one and insert it. And here you can read all the rules. Okay, there we go. So the thing with a lot of images that you'll find online, and the same is true if we go to Creative Commons 0 or public domain places like Unsplash, Pixabay, you'll notice that, well, these aren't widescreen. So here's your little trick. Once you get an image, if it's not the proper size, I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to go to Format, and I'm going to go to Crop to Aspect Ratio 16 by 9. Okay, that's going to bring up my crop tools here in a 16 by 9 format. So I can kind of adjust, that looks good, and hit crop. Once you do that, this image is now in the proper dimensions, and I can move it to the corner, bring it down, and watch as it snaps right into place, full slide screen. Boom! Right, so now I can, again, turn my text boxes on and modify them and all that good stuff. Once that's finished, we'll show all, and let's preview. Okay. Like I mentioned, sometimes with the things, especially from Bing, you will need to attribute the author. The nice thing about using the get from online sources in PowerPoint is it gives you this little thing here, and we can then use this to attribute the photo. So that's kind of handy dandy. Of course, with Unsplash, Pixabay, and all of those, you don't need to give attribution because they're public domain. Cool. So let's see. You basically just continue that process for the rest of the slides, modifying the text, and choosing different pictures. One thing that is kind of nice about this particular set of slides is, well, let's just preview it. And let's see how long this stays on the screen. So, oh, that's nice. I like that. And, oh, it goes away. One of the things with these templates is sometimes it's very difficult to make stuff stay longer if you want to. This particular set of slides has this handy dandy little thing. So what I'm going to do at this point is let's go to the animations and open up the animation pane. These particular slides, here's all the animations, and the last element here we'll see is a rectangle, okay, and it just comes in. What I can do is basically just change the delay as to when this black box covers the screen, and it will delay when the slide moves on. So here we can see that it comes in and covers the screen after 3 3/4 seconds. So 3.75, let's roll the animation. There it goes, there it goes. Here comes our exit. Oh, and it's gone. And it's gone. So let's change this last guy to like 7 seconds. See that? It just kicked it out down in the bottom here, and if we let it roll now, all my animation happens and the emphasis effects keep rolling, and it waits until those 7 seconds are up before it transitions. So I really like that, and that's pretty much the case on all of the rest of the slides. You can do the same little trick. Let's see, so once all that's done and you made all your modifications and everything, you just go to File, Export, Create a Video, set the seconds spent on each slide to 0. It's going to kick it out as nice 1080p. Create video, and here's your other trick and caveat. In my mind right now, due to a known bug in PowerPoint, exporting as MP4 video is useless. I can't tell you how many of these kinds of things have been glitchy, and even just very simple animations like builds coming in for bullet points, it gets glitchy and it's just worthless. So I am currently using Windows Media Video, WMV files, as the only way that I'm saving as video out of PowerPoint. So you can just save that, and like I say, I will then take that video file, pull it into Camtasia, and add my own music, because music in these slides never ends properly. It just stops and cuts off. And by the way, if you want to use this music file, you can click on the speaker icon here, right click, and save media as. Give it a name and save it, and then use that in Camtasia where you can fade it out easily any way you want. Okay, so there you go. Julie says, "Oh, dude, that crop to 16:9 was worth the whole price of admission tonight." Yeah, that's a handy trick. Let's expand on that just a little bit. I'm going to add a new slide here. One of my favorite places to get really nice images that are not just royalty free, but copyright free. They are in the public domain. You can do anything you want with them, which is kind of awesome, is to use sites like I mentioned before, Unsplash, Pixabay. You can get this little add-in. This one is called Pixels. So what it does is it gives me a search engine on the Pixels website right inside of PowerPoint. So if I wanted maybe to find a picture of a fox, let's see what it comes up with. Here we go. All kinds of foxes that I could use in my project here. Let's just grab this one. Okay, it put it in, but again, see, it's not the right size. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go to Format. I'm going to go to Crop, to Aspect Ratio. In other words, crop it to, let me crop to a 16:9 aspect ratio. Well, of course, that's what a widescreen slide deck is. And again, you can screw around a little bit. You don't really want to do this because now I'm going to have some white stuff here. But most of the time, you can at least, adjust it this way to a degree. And we'll say crop. Move it up into the corner. And boom, there we go. Yeah, so that's a good one. I like that.